Elise Paul, and I'm here at Flex Appeal for Myofascial Monday. So for 4th of July weekend, we did address the piriformis, but we had some issues with the video, so it can be really challenging to view. So today I'm going to readdress the piriformis because it's such an important muscle for us to focus on. Piriformis syndrome causes a lot of hip pain, sciatic pain, and basically what the piriformis is it's a small muscle that's deep in your pelvis structure. So it's up in the pelvis and it is part of the hip musculature. So what it does is it controls the femur. So it creates stability inward and outward of your femur. So most people have weak glutes, whether it's glute max or glute medius, they're a little bit weak. And because of that, a lot of times this little piriformis muscle has to do way more than it's supposed to do. So we are going to talk about how to work on releasing that muscle. So it's really deep back in here. And there's two different ways you can do it. You can do it with a tennis ball, you can do it with a foam roller. Today, because it's so much easier to view, I'm going to show it with the foam roller, and then later we're going to go over hip musculature on a different video with the tennis ball. So what you're going to do, so I'm going to work on releasing this muscle right here. You're going to come onto a slant. So my knees are up at an angle, and I'm really just balancing on my glute muscle. Then I'm going to bring this leg open. So really kind of creating a stretch this way. I like to come onto my elbow, and then from here, we're going to rotate inward or outward until you find it. Like for me, I found it. Once you find it, you know that you found it. So while I stretch here for just a second, because this is really the extent of it, we really don't do a lot more than just holding it right here. It's really important that you don't rock back and forth, even though I know that feels awesome. It's much better to just hold it and then release and then hold it again. So if you have a really tight piriformis, your toes may turn outward, and that's because that piriformis muscle is pulling your femur outward. So it's important to not only do myofascial release on the piriformis, but also to stretch the piriformis. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. One of those ways, so we're just gonna hold that. One of those ways, a lot of times people wanna stretch and they wanna do a straddle stretch. But if you're really good at straddle stretching, chances are you have a tight piriformis and that's what's pulling your hips out. So a better stretch to do if you have that tightness through here would be to cross your legs this way, stretching this way, and then reaching forward, trying to keep both of your hips on the ground. So a lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I'm great at this, I can do this, and they have like one hip off the ground. Both hips need to stay down and reaching forward. If this is too tight, you just extend the bottom leg and reach this way as well. So it's really important to kind of make sure that you release if you have an extensibility issue, and or if you stretch for an extensibility issue, and release for that fascial issue as well. And then it becomes really important to work on strengthening the outside of the leg, the inside of the leg, and the glutes, so that that piriformis isn't having to work quite so hard. Please join me next week and mark your calendars. August 12th at 5:30 here at Flex Appeal, we will be having a stretching and myofascial release class, free to the public, but it's bring your own foam roller. So I hope to see you there.